Even though every video game has its own boundaries and limits, the developers often build beyond the playable world, leaving hidden levels, secret Easter eggs, and things they never expected players to discover. From a Super Smash Bros. Secret that reveals a dark history from Mario's past to Call of Duty's connection with a popular TV show, check out all the things you could discover when you drift out of bounds in popular video games. Call of Duty United Offensive – The Giant Cow in the Basement. In the world of Call of Duty, we're typically not focused on all the little details, especially when guns are blazing or zombies are coming at us in hordes. The developers still took their time to introduce some hidden game elements players were able to discover. The first was found in the United Offensive expansion pack for the original Call of Duty game back in 2004. Make your way through a cabin you were never intended to enter and then down into the basement. If the single glowing lantern wasn't creepy enough, you turn to your right to discover a giant cow just sitting there. How'd the cow get down there? And why is the thing hiding in the basement? Two questions we'll probably never have answers to. Don't worry though, before you start having nightmares about cows, let's jump into Call of Duty Ghosts and the multiplayer map at the Paper Company. Using the free camera mode, you can explore behind the crates to not only find a hidden teddy bear, but a shout out to one of the catchiest songs of the early 90s. There's a stop sign, a hammer, and a clock. And if you haven't figured it out already, the reference is to MC Hammer's "You Can't Touch This."
Can't touch this.
And his line, "Stop! Hammer time!" RIPTIDE GP2, Out of Bounds Easter Egg. Some game developers take the whole term Easter egg a little too literally. For example, the water racing game RIPTIDE GP2. Players have the ability to go out of bounds and bounce around the waves. Ignore the out of bounds text on the screen, or the fact that you're losing the race. As Dory loves to say, just keep swimming, or in this case, skimming the edge of the water. If you travel far enough in one of the levels, you'll make your way to a giant floating object just above the waves. Upon closer inspection, you'll realize that the hidden object is actually an Easter egg, inserted right in the middle of the game. Head straight towards the egg and you have the ability to smash your vehicle right into the egg like you're making a giant omelet. The egg will explode on the screen, creating a ton of fanfare and confetti right before a yellow chick appears on the screen. The fun moment is a great discovery and makes us wish RIPTIDE had a whole hidden Easter egg game mode to hunt down and discover all the colorful shells. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Multiplayer Village Map, Death Cam, The Hatch, and the Lost Numbers. So it turns out that the whole Modern Warfare series from Call of Duty has a modern connection to one of the more popular television shows in recent years. The specific game we're talking about is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Hop right into the multiplayer village map and head towards the back of the map to find a house with what looks like a junkyard in the back. Just beyond the fence you cannot go through, you'll spot a large hatch. If you manage to blow yourself up and take control of the cam for the 10 seconds allowed, then you can spot a hidden reference to the show Lost. The top of the hatch has a series of numbers listed on it, and if you haven't already guessed, those numbers are Hurley's lottery numbers. The numbers that brought one a whole lot of luck or bad luck depending on how you looked at it. The hatch itself is also a callback to the infamous season finale where the group discovers the door and decides to use old dynamite and blast their way in. Too bad the hatch doesn't open in Call of Duty. It'd be a great way to hide out in multiplayer battles. Tomb Raider 4: The Last Revelation. The Tomb Raider series has been subject to all types of Easter eggs, rumors, and glitches that have had fans talking for years. From attacking the butler to removing Lara Croft's digital clothes, many of these urban legends turned out to be false. But Tomb Raider 4: The Last Revelation actually had a hidden area that people took a long time to discover. In the PC version of the game, players can download a mod known as the Position Editor. Once the mod was active during the Great Pyramid level, players could position Lara on a cliff and go backwards through the level they just traveled in. Only this time, things would look much different than before. Across a giant gap was a secret tomb, but there was no treasure inside. Well, maybe there was. It all depends on your idea of treasure. Anyway, after making the leap, Lara could enter the tomb, which appeared to be some sort of texture testing room. You become surrounded by a whole lot of topless statues, and the effect could become a little dizzying as you look around in all directions. Other than the trippy design, there's not much in the room, but it's still a fun discovery for the Tomb Raider. Star Wars Dark Forces, Crazy Ewok. Whether it was George Lucas or Disney, the Star Wars franchise has been pretty protected over the years.
They're my movies. I made them.
Well, some game developers were actually able to push the limits and sneak something by little Georgie. Something we never expected to see in the franchise. We're talking about the classic first-person PC shooter Star Wars Dark Forces. In the game, there's a hidden room that brings you to the basement of a building and showcases just exactly what all those stormtroopers are up to. Even when you're in the room, the secret is tough to find, as it is hidden in another layer behind a secret wall. Using the action button, you can activate the secret, and there it is, a cute and cuddly Ewok, stuck in position with a ball and chain. But this is no ordinary Ewok. He's clearly gone stir-crazy, showing signs of cabin fever, and possibly one of the main inspirations for the game series Five Nights at Freddy's. Even worse than the rabid Ewok is the actions you can take on him. Instead of having the ability to free the poor furry creature, you can blast the guy away and burn all the fur on his skin. Now, those are some pretty gruesome graphics snuck into a Star Wars game. Yikes. Enjoying these hidden parts of games? Well, be sure to check out our video on the 10 worst gaming injuries for more great content from TheGamer. Duke Nukem 3D. Duke Nukem may be a joke in the gaming world today, but back in the 90s, Duke Nukem 3D was all the rage and helped influence a number of different first-person shooters. One of the more entertaining parts of the Duke Nukem series was knowing the developers had a pretty good sense of humor with everything and provided plenty of jokes in the game.
I'm Duke Nukem, and I'm coming to get the rest of you alien bastards.
Including a whole lot of hidden ones. In one of the levels, you have the ability to turn clipping off and travel through the walls. Well, the game creators knew this would happen and left a message for anyone seeking out the place beyond the game walls. Written on one of the walls is the message, "No one should be here," and on top of that, the message is signed from the Level Lord. Yeah, we're pretty sure that sounds like a curse, and the Level Lord may be a fun nickname the developers came up with, but we're pretty sure the character would be an incredible boss battle if we ever came across it. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mushroomy Kingdom. Nintendo really blew our minds with the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. To help match with the largest roster of fighters ever, the game features a biggest selection of stages as well, and those stages have a ton of hidden details in them. How can we see them? Well, Nintendo made it pretty easy thanks to the paused game camera option. With the camera, we can zoom, tilt, and see hidden objects like never before. One of the biggest secrets comes in the stage known as Mushroomy Kingdom. Designed like a vast wasteland from the very first Super Mario Bros. Game, a lot has changed, including the ability to go in pipes. Well, with a camera tilt, we can see exactly why Mario was cut off from the pipes, because the developers actually put steel grates over the top of them. Wow, it's like Princess Peach just abandoned her whole kingdom. And now let's head over to the Game & Watch stage where everything gets rendered flat. Even 3D players like Mario and Bowser get rendered flat to play in the world. And even cooler hidden part of the level? If you take the camera and zoom out, you'll reveal that the whole level takes place on a duplicate Game & Watch handheld console. All of the elements have texture and 3D elements, showcasing how much effort the game designers put into the fun stage. SLENDERMAN, Into the Abyss. Yeah, we really don't want to venture into a SLENDERMAN game, but the hidden moment is worth your time, and a few scares that come along with it. In the level Into the Abyss, players travel into an underground tunnel area filled with lifts and large pillars. Well, with your limited flashlight view, attempt to make your way around the pillar next to the large lift. The game will glitch for a moment, but you can actually reach the hidden area. Unfortunately, you cannot spend the rest of the game just hiding there. A message suddenly pops up on the screen stating, "Not even a bug in this game will save you from me." Okay, yeah, where's the power button? Well, before you could even find it, a SlenderMan monster and some horrific sound effects come on the screen, ending your life and getting the character out of the glitchy part of the level. Even though the moment is incredibly scary, it's actually a brilliant move by the game creators, and a funny way to cover up any game bugs. Super Mario Sunshine, KUG. Super Mario Sunshine was a great platform title for the Nintendo GameCube, and introduced us to a whole lot of new concepts for the Mario franchise. Well, there was supposed to be even more included in the game, including a villain known as KUG. Who was KUG and what does he look like? Well, we will show you. All you have to do in the game is venture over to Pina Park and find the good old balloon ride. Using the game in an emulator, players were able to navigate around using a free camera and discover a mysterious object underneath the balloon ride. When you view the area at the right angle, you can discover the design of the character KUG. KUG looks like it is related to the Goomba somehow, and oddly, the character has a complete 2D design, despite all the other game characters having a 3D design of the game. You can't really do anything with KUG, and if Mario goes up to him, he'll experience some sort of electric shock. It's about time we get a follow-up to this. We're all ready for Super Mario Sunshine, Revenge of KUG. Super Mario Odyssey, New Donk City. As if Super Mario Odyssey didn't have enough to explore already, many gamers have found ways to mod the game and access areas Nintendo never wanted you to see. Using Cappy and some incredible jumping skills, there are so many areas to explore. First, let's look at New Donk City in a whole new light. While most of us just enjoyed the smooth stylings of Pauline's super catchy song, we didn't actually realize that the city below us completely disappears. One jump down and Mario goes on a free fall with no city streets to help break his fall. With so much graphical power put into the dancing citizens of New Donk City, it only makes sense that the rest of the world would be removed for the extended scene. Meanwhile, there are some secrets hidden below the city as well. In the musical notes room of Metro Kingdom, there's a way to access the area behind the room, where Mario can explore a cloned room with nothing inside of it, except an odd single outlet. Who uses that room and what exactly is the outlet for? While we ponder that mystery, let's jump over to the Ruined Kingdom. Just outside the large stone wall is a hidden invisible ledge players were not supposed to access. Mario is able to stand on the ledge and walk across it, but there's actually no visual texture for the guy to see. Oddly, the developers also stuck 4 coins in the area for anyone who happens to discover it. Wow, now it's your turn. What hidden game areas have you discovered? Any great ones we missed? Do you like that these areas are discovered, or should players leave them as they are? Well, let us know in the comments, and stick around TheGamer for more great video game content. We're releasing new videos every couple of days. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the channel.